Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. This astrology report is for the week of August 12th. And boy, we are in the midst of some really beautiful, complex, yet easy and beautiful times in the astrology. The last week we just had that Aquarius full moon, so beautiful, so bright, so much about independence and freedom and awakenings and revolution and revelation. There is so much energy involved with Aquarius that is about newness and change and innovation in the future, and so much to grasp. It's very much about an independent spirit, and also the things that make you so terribly unique. There is the honoring and the celebration of uniqueness, complete and utter uniqueness, the thing about whatever it is, a person, a place, a thing, that makes them just that special, thing on this planet that is nowhere else to be found. That's what Aquarius celebrates. So that big full moon is that culmination point. We climb to the top and we climax there, and we come to a fullness, a full expression in terms of those Aquarian themes. And now we are waning off of that full moon. And also we've had the planet Mercury station direct within the past couple of days, right around this full moon. And Mercury is the planet of our mind. It's the planet of communication, transportation, short trips here and there, the kind of the routine transportation. And also Mercury rules so many other things, but this is where we can see life tend to slow down. Our minds can slow down. We forget things. There can be a lot that is sort of left behind so that we can come back to it after a certain amount of time. A retrograde cycle is about leaving an area alone, going back, taking care of all the things that you need to from the past in that section of the zodiac where Mercury is retrograding. And in this case, this area of our life that we've been digging up and going through and reviewing is in Leo. Leo, about 4 degrees to, 22 degrees of Leo. Leo is the sign of the lion. This is confident and bold energy. Leo is a fire sign. And so we are having a retrograde in a fire sign. Fire signs generally very, very energetic. The fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, going to be feeling this retrograde, have been feeling this retrograde, maybe more than others, or if you have a lot of planets or points in your birth chart here in this 22 to 4 degree section of Leo, this is where these transformations have been going in your life. This is where those edits and reviews and all of this energy has been located and potent for you personally. That's a way to be able to really see how the astrology is affecting you personally, is by having a copy of your own astrological birth chart. And then you would go to Leo, and you can get that birth chart online anywhere, a free version. And it'll show you where all the planets and points were at the moment of your birth, and it becomes this map that you can kind of follow along with. So then you would find this area of Leo, and you'd look from 4 to 22 degrees. Do I have any planets or points there? And which house is this this in the house. Very important to see which part of your life this renovation is taking place. So fire signs, feeling this maybe even more potently. The sun is moving through Leo also. So there's a lot of fire energy in the chart just in general. Aries houses a lot of planets right now: Chiron, Saturn, Neptune, and then Mercury and the sun, both in Leo. So this charged Mercury that has, scoured this area of Leo, finding the courage, finding the boldness that Leo wants to bring out in you. Leo is about a quiet confidence, like that beautiful lion that just sits on the hilltop and exudes confidence and boldness and utter understanding of self, like a complete understanding of that inner flame, that inner fire that burns, and that is what you are constantly being led by. Leo is about passion. And so this Mercury retrograde could have been about finding some of those passions again, finding some of this inner light, finding this inner guidance, these things about us too, right at this full moon in Aquarius that make us terribly unique, that are so just unique to us, that becomes that inner flame, that beauty point that we seek. And speaking of a beauty point, see, so much going on. Honestly, this week in terms of the daily astrology, there's not a ton going on. All of the outer planets are retrograde or moving into a retrograde fashion, which means they're all very still. There's a couple of aspects, but right now, the overarching themes that are going on right now are really what are taking hold this week. This week is about finally jump starting into some of those things that we have been talking about doing, that we've been planning on doing since before this Mercury retrograde was setting up. So we're talking about going back to the end of June and the beginning of July, and actually starting to be able to see action taken on some of those thoughts, some of those ideas, some of those plans, and having actual movement on them. It is a complete kickstarting week. And one of these high pleasure points that are coming in this week is the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus. And you can see this in the early morning hours. In fact, I believe this morning would have been the point you'd want to look and check out these planets as they come really close to each other in the sky. So if you're a very, very early riser, check this out. I was actually sent a picture of this morning, made me so happy. And this is like the morning star Venus, and she's being joined by Jupiter, the other super bright luminary in the sky. So it's beautiful. But these two planets are known in the astrology as benefics. And so they are all benevolent and bring goodness and pleasure and good luck and wisdom. And this is a joining of these two very beautiful planets. And this is coloring all of the last week and all of this next week. There are gifts coming in. There is pleasure to be had. And this is in the Cancer area of life. So you can see where these gifts are going to be coming in. And Cancer is in a certain house in your birth chart to kind of see where it goes more personally. But Cancer represents the home and the family and the places that we go to for safety and security. And these places, this home life, this family life, these safe, secure spots are being gifted with some beautiful energy. And Jupiter always leaves gifts everywhere that the planet goes. Venus just makes everything beautiful, brings in all of the good vibes, and Venus is all about those pleasurable feelings. So you can tend to have just really nice, sweet feelings. And so Cancer, the home, the family, this is a gift here being given, some really good vibes coming in. So I love that. Also just coloring this moment where we finally get to get kind of kick-started and get moving after this long, very, very long Mercury retrograde. It was the longest one of the year. We get 3 to 4 Mercury retrogrades a year where these times tend to slow us down a little bit. And this is the longest one. It was like 26 days. So it's been feeling like it's drug out for sure. But as it moves direct, we get these gifts, we get this wisdom, we get this pleasure that comes in. And so I just have a very good feeling about that for Mercury stationing direct in Leo, and just to bring in more about how special I feel like this is right now. We have also what's called a mystic triangle, and a mystic triangle has 4 points. The corners here consist of Pluto and Aquarius at 2 degrees. We've also got Neptune and Saturn at between 1 and 2 degrees in Aries. And then across the other side, Mars in Libra, and this Mercury in Leo is forming this mystic triangle. Some opposing forces, but they bring support, and they bring balance, and they bring understanding to the whole structure and the whole vision of which is life right now. So this Mars in Libra, Mars has just recently moved into Libra. Mars is our physical body. So we could have felt a shift in our physical body over the past week or so as Mars gets settled into Libra, moving out of Virgo. And Mars was in a kind of a heavy place over the last few weeks as Mars was moving over the South Node. The South Node can tend to pull things out of our life. It's like a detoxer. It's like a sponge that comes along and just sucks everything out of your life that you don't need anymore, that's not serving you, and puts you on a more benevolent course. The universal intelligence is involved here with the nodal play. So the South Node and Mars, they were playing together, and our physical body was releasing. We were releasing things from our physical body. And then Mars moved away from that into Libra. And Libra is a sign that is more about balance and harmony, and thinking about things just a little more from different perspectives before moving forward. Mars is considered to be in the fall here because it's directly across from a sign that it rules, and it's right here in Libra. It's across from Aries, the sign that it rules. So it's said to be in its fall and debilitated here and not at its best. But with Mars in Libra, you get a more balanced expression, and Mars already can tend to be a little aggressive, irritable, move too quickly. So Libra balancing this out. And then we already talked about Mercury coming out of retrograde in Leo, bringing messages up from the deep and helping us to move into the things that we've been trying to do for a while. Also, Mercury, Mars are in a sextile here. This is that kickstart that we get this week as Mercury comes out of retrograde and makes an aspect with Mars. So that is just so much supportive, harmonious. This is energy that is unique and it's rare. We have 2 minor grand trines also taking place right now also, which is supportive, harmonious, balanced. As an astrologer, I'm just looking at this chart right now and I'm drooling at the mouth because it's just so fun to talk about. But I had to talk more about the overarching themes that are going on right now to show you and to maybe bring in some of these grander cycles of which we talk about living within the cycles of this universe to create the benevolent life. So knowing that right now, yes, we're going through a ton of newness. There is edits taking place. There is a lot of interplay between important energies right now, and we are adjusting to a ton of movement, a ton of change, and even more change coming in over the next year and into 2026. So this time right now is very unique and important to know that whatever is going on, it's being supported by the universe here. It truly is. And actually, I'm looking at the chart and a third minor grand trine just popped out at me. So, I mean, and I just got a little like flighty butterfly feeling in my stomach, which people ask me, how are you feeling about the astrology right now? You know, it just seems complex. It seems like there's a lot going on, a lot of bigger changes, bigger theme changes going on. And I can't help but to just be positive and be excited about it because I think it's just very, very supportive for whatever it is that you have going on. Know that there is some beautiful supportive energy for that. So this week, tons of lunar activity, as there already is, but really only a couple of things happening. On August 15th, Venus is in a trine with the North Node and a sextile with the South Node. And this brings in a fateful day. This brings that Venus, and for that matter, Jupiter is right there too. It'll just be time till Jupiter catches up to that. Venus moves quicker. But basically, this beautiful, benevolent pair, Jupiter and Venus, are both in a trine and a sextile to the nodes, which means there's more cosmic course correction, more smooth, supportive, balanced energies taking place. It's all connected. And then on August 17th, Mercury is in that exact sextile to Mars. And this is where we could really feel that we are sparked into action, that things are really starting to move forward. Like it is really happening. All those things that we planned on from June and July, they're all taking place and all is well in the world. So, a very interesting report this week with such limited planetary activity, but this just means that these grander themes and these grander cycles and these larger things that are taking place are going to be the focus. So just know that everything is supported and to trust in the harmonious, balanced things that are at play here, and to stick with it because we do have the eclipses coming up in September. And so the more work that we can do now, staying positive and staying hopeful and staying in the dream, staying in it, I think is the best. So stick with it. You're doing a good job, and I really appreciate you being tuned in here to the Cosmic Community Astrology with the Galactic Ambassador, Stacey Dredd, and I hope you have a really good week. I'll be talking to you again soon. Take care. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.